What's up, everybody? It's your girl D here, and welcome to the podcast 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. As always, I'm joined by my brother Derek.
What's up, everybody?
And our friend Dan.
What's going on? What's going on?
And today we'll be talking about the classic movie Arachnophobia, and also episode 4 of WandaVision for everyone who has seen it. But first off, I have just one bit of news that I thought was interesting for the week, that they're finally going to do a direct sequel to Cloverfield.
Oh, finally.
Yeah. I know we had 10 Cloverfield Lane and then Cloverfield Paradox, I think was the name of that Netflix movie. Mm-hmm. But those weren't really sequels. They kind of were movies that they said, oh, hey, let's just throw Cloverfield into it. But this one will be like a true sequel to Cloverfield.
Okay. Oh, that's solid, though. I like that.
Yeah. And it won't be shot the same. Cloverfield is kind of like with the shaky camera, like following those people's perspective. This will not be that. They haven't really said anything else about it, except for it won't be that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have been cool either way, because I kind of like the way they filmed it. Kind of felt like you was there.
So, yeah. I mean, I definitely liked it. So, I mean, I guess you can't do it again since how the first one ended. To a repeat of that one might have been kind of silly.
Probably. Yeah.
I have never seen Cloverfield.
Really?
Yeah, I have never seen it.
Check it out, man. It was real interesting. It was real interesting. Like,
it is on our list to watch. We might do it in a few weeks. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. So yeah, it's coming up. So you can watch and then we can all. It's a good movie though. Won't be disappointed.
Yeah, it was good. It was definitely good. Yeah. I saw that was back when you could go to the theater, like seeing it in a theater with all the surround sound and everything. It was captivating, man. It was like a thrill ride for real. The seat didn't move, but it was like a thrill ride though. It was cool.
It was because you didn't. Well, maybe we shouldn't tell him about the movie since he hasn't seen it.
Oh yeah. But,
I was about to go into like a deep dive, and then I was like, oh, he hasn't seen it.
It's hard to not talk about that. It is good though, but definitely check it out if you get a chance, man. Turn all the lights off in the room. Know what I mean? No interruptions.
All right,
you're gonna like it.
Yeah. All right. Now, Arachnophobia movie came out in 1990. I thought it was a good movie. I think it's silly and it's dumb, but it was like an enjoyable watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, what 90s horror movie isn't like silly though?
That's true. That's true.
True.
That's true. Yeah.
And you know what? Even though it has some silly parts, I felt like it didn't take away from the movie though.
No, not at all. It kind of made the movie what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which kind of makes it like a rewatchable movie because it is silly. Sometimes like once you see a horror movie, you see it once, you can't really go back.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like with this one, is like if it was on TV, I would definitely watch it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I could definitely watch it again. Yeah.
Isn't it? So, I mean, I love spiders, so it's like, like I follow them across the corner sometimes.
You love spiders?
Who loves spiders?
Man. Spiders are interesting, man. Love them. Most people scared of them. Most like they be stepping on them, and then like when they crawl at them, they actually run away. I'm like, you realize how much bigger you are than this little tiny behind pinky-sized spider? But they running away.
First of all, spiders can be deadly, so
they can, but they can't bite through a Nike.
So you think you probably haven't seen that Nike biting spider yet?
Well, they exist, not in America. I have no intention of going to South America anytime soon to the Amazon because I'm pretty sure it's probably there or in Australia. The big people-sized spiders. I ain't messing with those.
All right.
So, do you like tarantulas?
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, they're cool.
I
would never hold one.
It's too big. They're too big and too hairy, bro.
They are hairy. And they actually got ones that shoot their hair at you.
Ew. See?
Yeah.
It's like a dust cloud, but it's like little hair, like pin hairs, and they stick like in your face and whatnot. It's crazy.
Doesn't that paralyze you or make you numb? I mean, I know we're too big to be paralyzed, but isn't it like to paralyze their prey or something?
It's like a stun, like a stun grenade. It's more like that for them. Like when it comes to like protecting themselves from like predators and whatnot, it'll stun them so they can get away. So I mean, I don't think you ain't gonna just keep on moving. Little hair stuck.
That's the point I don't get. What would be their predator?
Like snakes and what was that? That badger
or
the honey
something.
Badger?
They eat tarantulas.
Them things eat anything.
Yes. Leave them be.
No, any bug. If I see you, it's a done deal. Like I won't stop until I kill it.
Really? Like even if they crawl behind something, you'll like.
I will move a couch, anything. Like if I see it, I have to kill it because it's gonna bother me the rest of the day.
Why though? Like I mean, it's not like it's seeking you
I
out.
know it's there. That means it's crawling somewhere, and I can't deal with it. So like if I see you, you have to die.
Well, I guess I did.
He would have died in the first scene of Arachnophobia.
Yeah, because I'd have been like on a mission.
You would have been chasing around that spider.
Well, I guess we didn't say what the movie's about for those who haven't seen it, because it is an older movie. Basically, it's about like killer spiders that's terrorizing a small town in upstate. I was gonna say upstate New York. He went to he went to Yale. It's not even in New York. I'm sorry. It was in California. I'm tripping.
In California.
It was definitely in California.
Yeah, it was in California.
Sorry.
They moved from San Francisco down to a small town in California. Yeah. I want to say they said Lima was the town.
No,
I don't know.
Jemima. Not no Lima. It was
not Lima.
It was like Jemima or something like that.
Oh, Jemima.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is not a real city.
I was about to say, is it even if it going through all this, is it a real city?
No, but at least get it right. It wasn't no Lima. Lima, California. That doesn't even sound right.
Lima doesn't either.
They want to put that shade.
It's not Lima. There's no L in it.
Oh, okay.
He rhymed, dog. He rhymed. It was rhyming.
Okay. So the movie starts off with them on I'm gonna say an expedition in Venezuela looking for, I don't understand, were they just looking for bugs? I didn't really get what they were looking for.
He was into spiders.
The professor?
Yeah, the professor. And he was looking for rare spiders or like spiders that haven't been discovered yet.
Okay. Right. So anyways, they discover one because it kills some guy, he hops in a coffin, and that's how they end up in California. And then to terrorize.
I was always are you sure it's dead? Oh yeah. The amount of poison we put up is definitely dead. And it wasn't.
My thing is like checks this thing's pulse or something.
Or like completely destroy it, like
because it was jumping at them in the little glass jar that they had.
And then like what I don't get. Okay, so it killed poor little what was Manny Manly.
What's his name? Manly.
That was his last name. I think his first name was James or something.
Okay.
But like it was like poor James died, and they were just like, "Oh, he's dead. Put him in a coffin." I'm like, are we not going to be concerned about how this guy died?
They didn't investigate it or not or anything. It was just like he had a fever.
Like, all right, box him up. Like, dude.
Right. But I was like, by the time he got to the morgue, he was like decomposed. And like that's not normal.
And the ME was just like, oh man, he looks awful. Called the boy's mama, was like, yeah, you got to do a closed casket. I'm like, you might want to cut this dude open. That's not normal.
Not normal.
Not normal.
Even if you ain't got time right now, it's like looking at that. It's like, yeah, we might want to look into this a little bit further because this is weird. Like you said, this ain't normal.
Yeah, just a little bit. Which I kind of wonder. I know that the 80s and the 90s might have been a little lax, but customs check shipments for bugs and stuff. So an invasive species doesn't come in and destroy life. Did they not do that in the 90s? I mean, they might not have.
I think that has always been a thing. There's always been a thing because of the fear of bringing in diseases and things like that, that it happens in that country but doesn't happen here.
Right. So
it has always been easy for us to go to any country, but to get back, you getting all kind of check downs and bags checked for that very reason. People be thinking it's like, oh, it's for drugs and stuff like that. It's like, no, they're making sure you're not bringing in anything that's going to wipe out a population.
Right. So they didn't see that giant spider, or did they just not check?
Probably didn't check thoroughly.
They didn't check.
I don't know.
For movie purposes, they did not check.
Okay. Because I'm like, that
any other
huge.
time, they would have been all in that wooden box.
Yeah. That thing is huge. And then the people in that little city, it's just kind of interesting. It brings up Darren, who could not join us today. He was like, the people in the town are stupid. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. It was a very stupid group of people.
Yeah, they were.
Aren't they usually, I mean, in movies like this, is it usually a group of highly intelligent people?
No, it's not. It's usually a better movie. That's true. It's usually one smart guy and then everyone else is dumb, which was basically the makeup of this city. Mm-hmm. Because you had like the old doctor who refused to retire, basically telling people that the new guy came in was killing everybody. I'm like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, really?
Well, that's nice.
He took that one lady off of the pills that she was taking.
Because she didn't have high blood pressure.
Right.
Like, he had that lady on high blood pressure. He's like, there's nothing wrong with her. And he's like, she got... Well, even then, when she died by the spider bite, he, like, looked at the body and was like, heart attack. I was like, we're not going to do an autopsy or nothing? He just like, nope, definitely a heart attack.
See, things like that made me think I'm not talking to real doctors.
Right.
Like, I mean, any random person can just look at somebody and just make an assumption. Right. Doctors are doctors because
he was like a private practice doctor in a small town.
Still, you cannot look at a body on the ground and be like, that person's over 60. It must be a heart attack.
Right. Well, they was even saying the same thing about him when he died from the spider bite.
Oh, yeah. Heart attack.
And he was like, dude, it's a spider bite. He was just like, well, his wife said that he was running on the treadmill pretty heavily afterwards. And he was like, but running on a treadmill would not cause you to seize.
Right. That's cardio, man. That's good for your heart.
Yeah.
I mean, you could very well have
a treadmill and start having a seizure.
Right. Like, you can have a heart attack, sure, but you might want to do an autopsy first before we start diagnosing people with heart attacks.
Yeah.
Right. Ain't that a normal thing?
Yeah.
Always do an autopsy?
Yeah. Even with the boy on the football field, there's like, well, he did get hit. They're like, yeah, but you still might want to find out exactly what killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A hypothesis is a hypothesis.
Right. Like,
it needs to be tested.
Yeah. Like, he got hit pretty hard. That's what killed him. Like, come on. And do they have funerals like the next day in this town? I feel like that old lady died and then like the next day was her funeral.
The next day was a funeral? Yeah.
They stay on task, apparently.
Yeah. Now, can I say this about the spider? Because we didn't bring this out about like when the spider got there, on how it spread so quickly because the spider mated with a regular house spider.
Right.
I want to say this. In real life, that spider eats that spider.
Yeah, spiders don't intermingle at all. And I have questions about how this mating activity happened because they kept saying that this spider basically, I'm gonna keep it PG. Basically, they were saying that the spider didn't have the ability to mate, but it somehow mated with a house spider. And I couldn't figure out how that was possible.
Right. Yeah, I didn't know either.
I mean, I felt like they explained it, but didn't really explain it. And I'm like, huh?
That's probably how they just breezed over. Like, we can't really explain it, so let's just confuse them and then move on.
But my thing is they could have just not have said it. Like, they made such a big deal. Like, it doesn't
they made a big deal about it not being, it had no reproductive organs.
Right. But
And I'm like, so is with them? Maybe I'm like, is by them saying that, is it because on why the spider was so rare?
But what does it do with it
Because
hooking
it
up with
didn't
a house
reproduce
spider
as
though?
much. True.
But if it doesn't have any reproductive organs, then like, how can it make more at all? Unless it just reproduces asexually.
I don't know.
Maybe that's what they meant.
Oh, so
like asexual? That reproduce asexually.
Okay.
So it can be a male or female.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Okay. I need someone smarter than me to tell me these things.
It would not, because they would not be able to reproduce at all. If not,
maybe they just clone themselves or something.
It would be an extinct spider. Like they would no longer exist because they can't reproduce.
That's true.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, these were the questions I was asking myself while I watched this movie. I'm like, how does this work? But you're right. Maybe that's how it. Okay.
Yeah, asexually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, overall, I'm like, I like it. It's a silly movie, but we can do a deeper dive when we go into my random movie facts. All right, number 1, you guys are gonna like this. So this was produced by Hollywood Pictures. You guys ever heard of that? No? Okay. You want to know who owned Hollywood Pictures?
Who?
Yes.
Hollywood?
Nope.
Sony?
Nope. Disney. It was their company they created. It was like their first regular movie that they came up with, and they created it so they can create more adult-oriented movies.
Get out of here.
Yep, it's a Disney company. This is a Disney movie because all things are Disney movies.
Basically.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I read that. I'm like,
over the world when we didn't even know it.
Disney has been running us for a long time.
Shout out to Disney. They're pros at this.
Yeah.
They're veterans in the game.
Okay, so no spiders was harmed in the making of this movie? No, like legit. No spiders were killed in this movie. They went through a lot of steps to make sure no spiders was harmed. Even to, even when, I don't know, it's a spider. Like, I'm sorry, but who cares?
Of all the things that don't really get no love,
it's probably something under PETA. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I just they did a lot.
I mean, it's a bug.
So will I go to jail if I have a spider fighting ring?
What? How would you
off the top rope?
Train killer spiders to fight each other?
They already fight each other. You don't have to train them for that.
True.
I would go see that.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, so like even when like scenes where like, you know, like a book fell on a spider or whatever, they would like cut a hole in the book or whatever. So it would really just, the book would basically fall around the spider and not on top of the spider. Like the scene where the exterminator played by John Goodman stepped on a spider. First they had to like step on a fake spider, then have a dummy spider, then the special, it was like a whole bunch of extra. And I'm like, or we could just kill a spider.
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't know if that makes me an evil person or not, but like I said, it's of all the things in the world that people don't love, it's bugs.
Yeah.
I feel like nobody would somebody probably will complain, but I mean,
somebody will.
I mean, like it never even occurred to me, like, oh man, I wonder what happened to all of these spiders until I'm reading how they went out of their way not to kill them. Which maybe
it's not even a thought.
Right, like didn't even think about it. Which maybe like, okay, so here's the thing. So obviously they used a lot of real spiders, but they didn't just use like regular spiders. They used like for like the little spiders, they used it's called a Delana spider from New Zealand. So they were shipping in like crates and crates of spiders. Like, why not just use an American spider?
Yeah, and just tell us that it's.
They want a spider to look a certain way.
Yeah, because they look fierce, but they're harmless. But I guess they wanted like a real nasty looking spider. So they shipped these ones out from New Zealand.
A couple of those scenes, especially with the scene with the older lady.
Oh yeah.
And the spider was like following her around. That was creepy. Oh, that was creepy.
The spider was like stutter. No, what got me is when they went back to the house and they're like looking for a spider, and that spider's like stutter stepping on the table, like doing jig moves, like you can't catch me.
Yeah.
And then the big spider, that was from, where was that spider from? It doesn't say where it was from, but it is a bird-eating tarantula. That is what they use.
It's got to be Australia. That's the only place that I have heard of bird-eating spiders.
Yeah, that's huge. Like, I mean,
their webs are huge. Like, it will catch a bird.
Well, okay. So that scene when his wife first goes into the barn and sees that giant spider web, like she's like,
that is not normal for no small spider.
I would be like, nah, man, something's not right in this barn. Like, is she just taking pictures? Like, look at it, isn't it pretty? No.
Yeah, I have a nitpick about that barn on another scene.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about that. But yeah, so another thing that Darren mentioned, and we're gonna mention, is how he said the movie was unintentionally funny, and the thing is, it was not unintentionally funny. It was funny on purpose because it was originally a regular horror movie, but by time Jeff Daniels joined the crew, they changed it because he said it wasn't a good horror movie because Disney didn't know how to make horror movies, obviously.
Right.
So he was like, basically, it was like your basic step-by-step horror movie. So then they said, well, let's not do this. So they decided to make it a comedy. And then they studied like Alfred Hitchcock films and Jaws in order to get the right tone in the movie, which is about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely some jumpable scenes.
Yeah.
So when you say that Disney doesn't make good horror movies, are you talking about then they didn't? Or you
they didn't know how to make a horror movie because this was their first foray into the normal movie scene.
Okay, because I was gonna say they have come a long way. Because like even unintentionally making things like scary. Because I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End the other day. I don't know if y'all ever seen that.
Oh yeah.
That opening scene.
You never seen that?
Where they're hanging like hundreds of people, including a little boy. And they kept showing, they're showing them snatching their boots off and throwing their boots in the pile because I guess they was going to keep their boots. And then they were showing them throwing the bodies in like little horse wagons and dragging the bodies away. I mean, they did this for like a straight 10 minutes. Dude kept pulling the thing and boom, you see feet dangling. And they were singing this creepy song that just set the mood of this is about to be a scary movie. But it was the Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, it's not scary.
Right.
And then,
that scene is
Dead Men Tell No Tales. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. The opening scene in that one.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is Disney.
Well, they definitely have come a long way. But you know, in the late 80s, this was their first stab at it. Okay. So they decided to change it into a comedy. And so they were saying that basically they're going to make it a comedy with thrills in it. So the goal was to get the audience to relax during the movie and then to throw stuff at them. Which I mean, they definitely accomplished that. And so that way they said it would be frightening in a fun way.
Okay.
And Disney called it a thrill-omedy. Yeah, check it out. Yeah.
You ever coined that phrase? Because I've never heard that word before.
They did for this movie. They did.
Okay.
Oh, so interesting. So yeah, so it was funny, but it was funny on purpose because apparently it being a straight horror movie was not working.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I should have said this when I was talking about the spiders that they were making. But yeah, all of the dead spiders were real dead spiders. Like, why? We could have used fake dead spiders.
What?
Wait, how hard would it be to make a fake dead spider? Like, how backbreaking would that be?
Like, why did they have to find real dead spiders?
Right. So that scene with the cereal, that was a real dead spider?
That was a real dead spider.
Oh, nah. Nope, couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Like
He had it in his hand and everything. Nope, couldn't do it. I'd rather, at that point, I would be alive, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't understand why do all that extra work for some dead spiders.
They did so much work.
It definitely seemed realistic, though. So, I mean, if they were going for a realistic feel, it definitely, they accomplished that.
But it's the 90s. Like, if they would have used a rubber spider, I wouldn't have hated them for that.
Yeah, like in the 90s. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of 90s movies were silly because of, that. Special effects weren't amazing. Like, the props weren't amazing. But it still had you in, it's a movie. So,
you know what? Maybe they just didn't have the special effects ability. Like now, the spiders would be CGI for sure. And they wouldn't be using thousands of real spiders.
All the spiders would have been CGI.
Yeah. Maybe they just didn't have it.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah. Because the things they had to do to get these spiders right. Okay.
Of course.
So, before I talk about what they did to get these spiders to act right. So the sheriff, you know how at the end of the movie, the professor, we're going to talk about him in my nitpicks, but the professor sends the sheriff to go get the two people from the morgue. But we never see the sheriff again. So apparently, we never see him again. So apparently the sheriff gets bitten by a spider and the car crashes and he dies. But they shot the scene, but they didn't put it in the movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would have fit, though. That would have fit.
Yeah.
Like
maybe they thought it was too long. I don't know.
How long would that have taken, though? A couple minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, the movie was only like an hour and 47 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
Extra couple minutes, who would have noticed that?
Yeah. I would like to see it because I did notice, the professor never came back. That's not right. The sheriff. I just thought they forgot about him, but
I just forgot about him. Wow.
Yeah, but apparently he died. Okay, now to the spider wrangling that they had to do. So obviously you can't teach spiders how to act.
Right.
So in order to get the spiders to go in a certain direction or whatever, they would use guide wires because the spiders wouldn't cross them. And they will also use lemon pledge because the spiders wouldn't walk through it. And so then Jeff Daniels was saying, they wouldn't walk through lemon pledge.
Okay.
Which is
like citrus.
I guess not, or maybe the smell. I don't know, but it gives me a thought for the next time I see a spider, I'm about to straight up box it in with lemon pledge.
Around with some pledge, and you can't go nowhere. It might risk it all at that point. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna just try this.
It might. It might.
Funny to see.
So Jeff Daniels was saying how they had to shoot a scene multiple times in order to get the right one with the spiders. And so then once they got the spider scene right, which, could take 20 or 15 times or whatever, then they would tell the actors, you have to do this right because we're only doing this once. Because, the spiders did it right the first time. So you guys got to do it. So, yeah, It took a lot of repeating of scenes just to get these spiders to act right.
Okay.
Which is why CGI exists now.
You can't talk to them, so
no.
Gotta hope that they react right.
Right.
They don't even know why. They don't even know they're being filmed.
Right.
Right. They have no idea that they're famous. No idea. Going back to that spider world, don't nobody know how to treat them. Treat a spider. They're watching some spiders when they get back home.
Right. All right. I do have some nitpicks.
Yes.
We talked about a few of them. We talked about a few one, right? We talked about that they could care less about that guy in Venezuela dying, the old doctor who was just everyone dies of a heart attack. Okay. Let's talk about the girl.
Something about the dude in Venezuela.
Okay, go ahead.
He also was bleeding out of his mouth.
And they didn't care.
I'm like, if you die from the flu, you're not spilling bodily fluids like that.
Yeah, after he seized up, there was blood coming out of his mouth, and they looked at him he's dead. Put him in a box, and that was just it.
Yeah. Whenever there's blood, they always test to see if it's something biological.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, well, my thing is, even when they got him back to America, and we talked about this before, the ME was just like, oh, he looks really bad. But like, we didn't do an autopsy. The guy died in another country.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you might want to check that out.
One, that body would not have made it back to that small town. Not until after they examined it. That ME in that small town would not have been the one to examine that body.
Nah, I doubt it. Yeah.
Because it's coming from another country. Yeah. Wherever city that airport is, that ME is examining that body.
Well, we already said how they let the giant spider in without checking the coffin.
Yeah.
But it's like wood and cardboard are like notorious for harvesting bugs, though. Like that's what bugs.
Which is why they check them. Yeah, the National Geographic had a whole show about like the border patrol, and then obviously they had like, you know, people trying to cross illegally with drugs, but they also had like, oh yeah, these people, they just check boxes for bugs, and that's all they do.
Yeah.
That would throw a whole ecosystem out of whack if you have insects where they're not supposed to be.
I mean, think about it. This killer spider from South America comes like that. And it was killing people. It was killing everything.
Yeah, because remember, they was like, we haven't heard crickets in a few days.
Yeah.
We're eating all crickets.
Yeah, it had killed all the crickets. Obviously, it can kill people. It killed the little bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get tired of that cricket sound. I get tired of that sound too, though. Like it's not pretty.
It's not.
It's like an alarm.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's never where you think that they are, because when you go towards them, then they stop. You walk away and they start again.
Yep. That's true.
I'm like, come on, man. I can't never find them.
All right. So the girl in the shower. So she's like taking a shower. La-di-da-di, la-di-da. A spider fall on your face and you don't feel that? Like it fell on her face.
And crawled down her body.
And like, come on.
Like, you know that was a drop of water?
Like, no. I'm like...
I would say this. Even if a drop of water runs down me the wrong way, I smack myself. I'd just be like, man, what was that? Oh, okay, water. I would have felt the water. Right.
My thing is, did she take the entire shower with her eyes closed? I'm like, at not one point did she have her eyes open in the shower. I'm like, who bathes with their eyes closed? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Eyes is only closed when I'm washing my hair and I'm rinsing the shampoo out my hair.
Yeah, because if you don't, then you're just asking for pain. So
right, yeah, you just gotta feel pain at that point.
But any other time,
my eyes are open the whole time.
Right, like what?
The shower with their eyes closed.
Yeah. I'm so alert when I'm taking the shower. What's going on outside this bathroom? I want to hear.
You must have.
It didn't make any sense. And then what I don't get is like, okay, so all right, there was a spider in the shower and it slips down the drain. Why did they call the exterminator? Like, it didn't make any sense. Like, I've seen one spider in my house. They didn't even
know about the spider that was in the bathroom.
Right. They didn't know about the other spider.
The second spider. Yeah, so in the second bathroom.
You see one spider in your house and you call it an exterminator? That makes no sense.
Nope.
And then the exterminator just basically like spins around in a circle. No spider here.
I appreciate how thorough you were.
This is my other nitpick. You spray poison on a spider and it doesn't die. I mean, you're dousing this spider with poison and it doesn't die. Yeah. That raised a red flag.
Right. Cool. Right.
Why are you impervious to this poison that kills everything else?
Right. Yeah. Like, obviously, this is not a normal spider. But I mean, the exterminator wasn't an intelligent person.
True.
There was only one smart person in the city. No, two. The old lady that died, and then Jeff Daniels. Everyone else was dumb. All right.
Because he was saying it from the beginning. He said it's something with the spiders.
Which was a jump, but I mean, still, it was better than what they were talking about. All right, so now we're gonna talk about Jeff Daniels and he has some dumb moments, and we're gonna talk about them. Oh wait, or should we talk about the professor first? Let's talk about the professor first.
All right, let's talk about the professor. Let's go.
All right, so he goes into the barn. He sees the giant spider web. Why did he go up there to play with the spider web, to lure the spider out? When you
lure the spider out with no defense mechanism whatsoever.
No protective.
He had nothing to catch the spider, nothing to kill the spider. He just, dinner's ready. And I'm like, what?
Like, you know it's a killer spider. Like, what are you doing?
Right. Messing with the web, talking about dinner's ready. Yeah, dinner is ready. You were in. Yeah.
Oh, it didn't make any sense.
That aggravated me. I was just like, what was the point?
Yeah.
He had no objective at all.
No, I just felt like the movie was like, oh, it's time to kill somebody again, and it was him. Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna talk about Jeff Daniels and some of the dumb things he did. Okay, so he gets his family. They're like, oh no, the spiders, because all of a sudden the spiders are everywhere. So they like run into the bathroom, like, we're gonna climb out the window. But then they spent a long time screaming and not climbing out the window. But then
climbing out the window.
Then he had so much time to climb out the window, and then he didn't climb out the window. Why not?
Right.
Like live life on the edge.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? Okay, so fine. So he waits forever, and now he can't get out the window. So then he goes back into the hallway, and now spiders are on him, and I'm like, you're dead. These spiders been killing everybody for so long, and all of a sudden,
people the whole time.
Yeah,
and they can't get on him enough to bite him.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. And then he falls through a floor to his basement. I'm like, you're dead.
You're dead.
Yeah. Or something is broken.
Wait, like
an arm, a leg,
a back,
a foot,
something.
Right, like, dude, your back is broken now. You just fell through a floor. I'm like, you're dead and paralyzed. Right. Okay. So magically, he didn't get bitten and he didn't break anything. So then he sees the egg, right? And he's like, okay, I'm going to catch it on fire. So instead of just setting it on fire, or I don't know, setting one of the bottles on fire and then throwing it at it, he's like pressing it with wine. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah. I was like, what was dousing it going to do?
Like, why are you just catch it on fire? It didn't make any sense. And then
it was damp enough down there anyway that whole cellar was gonna catch up in flames eventually.
First of all, why was that cellar not engulfed in flames? You talking about a cellar where paint cans was on fire, cans of other stuff was on fire, and the wine was on fire, and this did not become a giant fireball for some reason? I'm like, dude, you're dead.
Everything else was fireproof except for those things.
Right, except for the very flammable object.
Because he was trying to catch the one spider.
Right.
Was running away from him.
And why are you chasing this one spider when your objective was to kill the egg? And he's like hunting the spider down. Like, why? It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I mean, the last scene was entertaining and all, but it didn't make any sense.
Yeah. And that's what they was going for. Just entertain them.
Okay. All right.
My other nitpick about that, same thing. Now the spiders was all over the house chasing them. Why didn't they crawl back down into the basement to go back after him?
Yes, that was like next on my list. Like, so they just stayed upstairs. Like, they literally follow these people around the house. He falls into the basement. They're just like, oh, can't go down there.
We don't backtrack, baby. We don't backtrack.
First of all, they would have been on the floor that he fell through. Like, none of them fell with him?
Yeah, they all knew it was coming, so they got out of the way.
Okay, you're right. Because, falling 10 feet is dangerous for them, but not for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't work swing like Spider-Man. They're
Right.
like, oh, nope.
Yeah, it was like that's just dumb. But yeah, that was my last nitpick. I don't know if you guys had any others.
I had one more.
Okay.
And he was in the cellar, in the wine cellar, setting it up and making the shelves and everything. And he was shooting the nail gun and it was going through the floor.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, someone would seriously get hurt with that.
They didn't
and no one removed the nails. I was like, it was 3 nails sticking up through the floor. He runs up and like, oh man, someone can really get hurt by that.
And then he leaves.
I'm like, and she was on the phone talking to someone, looking at the nails going through the floor, and I'm just like, she doesn't yell like, hey, yo, stop.
Right. He runs up like, someone could really have gotten hurt. I'm like, she should have been yelling like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that bothered me from day one. From soon as that scene happened, I was just like, dude, that is so dangerous.
As somebody who has stepped on a nail before, yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Right through the top of my foot, too. Did not do it.
Yeah. I haven't stepped on a nail, but I had a nail in my head. Not cool.
Sheesh, that's worse than a foot. So.
Oh yeah, that's worse than stepping on a nail.
Yeah.
It is. It is. I still have a dent there.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Are we ready to rate the movie? We can start with Darren's. He sent it to me. He said, what was it? Watch while folding clothes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I was in between. I would say watch by folding clothes, but I would pay for that because it's like, it's entertaining enough that I can watch that movie again. But I'm like, I don't know if like I would buy it though.
Right.
Yeah, I won't necessarily buy it, but I would watch it if it was like, let's say it just came on TV.
Right.
I would watch it. I probably wouldn't turn from it. So I will say watch while folding clothes, but it's on the higher end.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I was, because it was like I'd watch while folding clothes, but I could see myself putting the clothes down and like watching the movie, like stopping folding clothes and watching the movie. But then again, it's like that. Like you said, like would I pay for it though? Like, So.
Yeah, I'm along the same line. It is definitely better than watch while folding clothes, but it is not I'll pay for that. So overall, it's going to be a watch while folding clothes, but it is better than that.
Yeah.
It is definitely.
I fold the clothes, but it would take me a while to get it done.
Because I'm going to watch the movie.
Yeah, I will definitely watch the movie.
I definitely watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is it for our review of Arachnophobia. If you guys haven't seen it, it is currently on the Hulu, so check it out if you haven't seen it. Yes. So next up, we are going to talk about episode 4 of WandaVision, and this was a good episode.
Man,
like it answered.
I was so happy to see. I was like, yay! As soon as she came on screen, my eyes got wide. Like, cool.
Yeah.
So this episode answered a lot of questions. I don't even let's just start at the beginning. Like the opening scene, you see Monica coming back from the snap, which I thought was like just kind of a great way, because when it kind of established like where we are in the timeline, and then like basically like how does she get there, because in the bubble she's Geraldine, but we're basically seeing how she got there. And I also like that they showed the more complexness of people coming back from Thanos snap, because in Far From Home it was kind of silly, like people popping up on the gym floor or whatever, but this was like chaos in a hospital. Everyone that's in a hospital all of a sudden is coming back. So I thought that was a great opening scene.
Yeah, that was, and it was like what did they say? She her mother had died. Like she woke up wondering where her mother was. She woke up by a hospital bed. I'm guessing while her mother was in the hospital and going through her therapy, that's when the snap happened. So she came back thinking about that, and she's like, "Oh no, your mom been dead for like 3 years." Like 3 years. Like, whoa, what? So it's like, the chaoticness like showed how long that lasted and putting us, like I said, in this timeline where we are now, where this WandaVision is occurring currently.
Yeah. And I think it does, like, you're bringing out, like, her mom died while she was gone. So it brings out, like, kind of the sad aspects of this. Like, she disappeared. Like, her mom was recovering from cancer. She's gone. Her mom was by herself. And then she dies. So not only does her mom never finds out what happened to her daughter and she dies, but the daughter comes back not even knowing that her mother had died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's just like, oh, wow. Like, so there was definitely, like, some deeper things to think, like, oh, you know, like, that 5 years between Thanos snap and then them bringing them back, like, a lot of stuff can happen in between there in people's lives.
Yeah. It put a realistic feel to it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, when you think about, like, superhero movies, or let me say, like, TV shows, or, like, actually reading the comic book, it's always, like, a happy feel to it. Like, how Endgame ended, like, outside of Tony Stark dying, everybody got to have their happiness in their life. You know, and it ended on a happy note. And then, like, even with Spider-Man, like, they made light of it and, like, brushed it over, like, people are happy to be back. You know, people who came back and it was 5 years is like, now they're in the same grade, but everybody else is 5 years older than them that wasn't at the time. You know, but it's like, this put a realistic view on it. Like, hey, there are some people who had to go on and live in their life without it, and then, like, some of them died in that time period without their family or family members. So I thought that was a real nice, realistic play on that.
Yeah.
Where it's just like there was some seriousness to the snap as well.
Yeah, because you don't really think about, like, when people start disappearing, you don't really think about people disappearing from the hospitals. Like, who was in the middle of surgery? You know what I'm saying? Like, who was in the middle of operating and they just disappeared?
Right.
You know, like, leaving the man on the table wide open under anesthesia. Then he come to and he's like, oh, obviously gonna die.
Like, do they come back? Do they still need surgery? Like, if I'm in the emergency waiting room, right? Is my arm still broken? I mean, the guy at the hospital said we don't have enough beds, but, like, are all these sick people coming back, or are they coming back healthy?
Right, that's what that made me think of. I'm like, we don't have enough beds. I'm like, so everybody coming back, you wouldn't need enough beds if they weren't sick. So they must be coming back with some kind of ailment or whatever.
Yeah. So I think it shows, like, the consequences of what the Avengers did, because everyone thinks, like, oh, they brought everyone back, but like Derek said, like, everyone didn't come back to a happy ending. Yeah.
Right.
So we see about her, about how she works for Sword. Maria helps establish Sword. I'm guessing she did that with Nick Fury, which we saw at the end of, was that Far From Home? Yeah.
Yeah, the Sword ending credit.
Yeah, that was Far From Home, right?
Was, end of Far From Home. Yes.
Yeah, so we see how she got started, and, like, it kind of answers the question, like, basically, because there was a lot of speculation on, like, what she was doing inside of the little town, and we were thinking, like, oh, Sword sent her in as a recon mission. Turns out, no, she just got sucked in the bubble.
Yeah,
just sucked in the bubble.
After Agent Wu told her not to touch it,
he did say don't touch it.
She did it anyway.
She did it anyway, which. Really, let's back up a second. I think it established just how powerful Wanda is, because not only did she, you know, kidnap this whole town, but basically she erased these people from people's memories.
Yeah,
like they got different names and existences. I mean, Jimmy Woo was like, you know, I called the family, and they's like, they never even heard of the guy. Not we haven't seen him. As if this dude didn't even exist.
Yeah, because he was in witness protection.
The town itself they were saying didn't exist, even though you got the sign right there. There's a population and all that. And he's like, well, where are you from? Eastview.
Well, where they're sitting next to the Westview sign, and he's like, I'm from Eastview.
You see all these homes and stuff right down the street, but they're like, no, this town don't exist.
Yeah.
So like she must have done something to wipe the town off from everybody's memories too, not just the people, but the town itself.
Yeah, the town itself. Well, the town itself, there was like what a 3 or a 5 mile radius. Everything within that area, everyone was like, never heard of Westview, which would be dumb. I mean, that's like us not hearing of this town next to us. Never heard of it.
It's like all of a sudden they were like Beechwood and be like, no, never heard of it.
Right. Never heard of it.
Yeah. And what I thought was another interesting point about that, I don't remember who said it, but I want to say it was also in the conversation between Monica and Agent Wu when I think they said, how come we are aware that Westview is there and no one else?
Yeah, I wonder, is it because they came from the outside and they weren't there? You know what I mean? Like, so I think like she takes over the town and everything in that area basically forgets that Westview exists. But I'm thinking because they both came from the outside in is why they were like, something's wrong here. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Because if not, then it's like she would erase their memory from everybody in the world.
Yeah, because you think about it, like the FBI showed up, SWORD showed up. I think they said the Air Force was there. So all those people managed to show up and they realized that this city isn't right. So I'm thinking it's because they was coming from outside cities and states. They were not affected by her initial bubbleness. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. And so that's what it gets like. So basically we're seeing the first 3 episodes from SWORD's point of view. So we find out how, Monica gets sucked in. She was not intentionally, which is why she doesn't know what's going on because she wasn't supposed to be in there. It kind of just sucks her in. The toy helicopter, turns out that was a drone that she sent in to investigate. And it seems like every time something gets thrown into there, Wanda turns it into something practical, like a toy helicopter.
And that's also why she don't got no home, because she's not from that town. So she gets stuck in there. She ain't got no home. She ain't got no husband. Like, don't nobody know.
Right, nothing. Because she just showed up. Yeah, which was interesting. Another thing I thought was weird is like when they sent the agent in, like I said it was just a guy in a hazmat suit, and I was right. When they sent the guy into the sewer, and they're like, do you think this is a good idea? And I'm like, no, this is not a good idea. Like, you sent the drone in, it didn't come back, and you lost your video feed. Monica gets sucked in, and then your idea was, let's send a man through the sewer? Like, you don't want to send in a robot first to check it out?
Right, I feel like y'all have that.
Well, if they have drones, first of all, they make video cameras for sewers. They do. I used them at work. So you could have just sent one of them in there to go check it out. But nah, they just sent the grown man down there, and of course he disappeared. And I'm like, what happened to him?
Yeah, because they just had that scene. She was like, no, but they didn't really show like him coming back at all.
He didn't come back. So what did she do to him?
I don't know. I did. She must have destroyed him. Because that little line he was on, the other end of it that crossed over turned into a jump rope.
It turned into a jump rope. Yeah.
So it was like, okay. But nothing from him though. Never heard from him again.
They didn't seem too concerned about it either. I'm like, poor Franklin.
Nobody mentioned it.
I hope they concerned. Yeah. But I don't know why he didn't think that it didn't extend that far. Like, they tried to warn him.
Yeah, I don't. He's like, why would it be in the sewer? I'm like, is it a part of the town or not?
Right.
Like, dude, come on now. Just dumb. That guy was dumb. He just like, I'm in charge. I'm like, you're stupid.
Yeah. I'm like, you're the director? Like, we need somebody new.
Right?
Yeah, he came in there calling shots, like, knows not anything. And he like coming in like, somebody give me this, somebody give me that, give me a visual, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? You're probably the most useless person in the room right now. You know nothing. So like, maybe you should do their job.
Yeah, like he knows nothing. Yeah. Which brings us, let's talk about Darcy a little bit. We haven't seen her since Thor the Dark World. Dan's a fan. Like I definitely like her. I hope we see more of her in this show. I do want to say super convenient that she was able to figure out everything within like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
She's like,
they need it fast.
she's like, give me an old TV. First of all, where are we finding these old TVs at?
No antique shops, yard sales, eBay.
People still have the things lying around.
Yeah, they do.
I guess so.
Okay.
I'm sure some of them are worth some money though, because I mean it's like vintage TVs that they don't make no more.
Okay. All right. I think it was just
it
real.
Was funny because I like how she said like nothing flat.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you need that TV with the big back.
Yeah, that big bubble front and then that big back that's surrounded by these humongous speakers that are a lot bigger than the TV itself. But they call that stereo. That's stereo. Like, dang, man.
Yeah.
How far we have come.
Yeah.
Your TV stand where like the TV took up the whole stand.
Everything. And you was worried about the stand collapsing because I'm like, it can't handle that. Let's wait.
So those TVs were so heavy.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, that sucked. But like I said, look where we at now.
Oh, times have changed. So super convenient that she figured it out. But what was interesting is that okay, for some reason, and I'm hoping we get the answer to this. Why is Wanda making us into sitcoms?
Yeah. They even asked that question too.
Yeah, they're like, why sitcoms? Which is like, why? But what's interesting is that, so we noticed in the first 3 episodes that some people breaks, and then Wanda basically resets it somehow. But what got us like when they were watching it, they don't see that like it's like she edited out, like there's someone.
All they figured out was that the show was edited.
Right.
And Darcy figured. When did she figure it out? When Monica snapped scene, when she broke scene. When she broke scene, because it was just like it went there, and then the next scene was Wanda and Vision sitting on the couch with the babies.
No, it did it before with the radio when they tested out when they was like, oh, we can communicate through this radio. Yeah, and so he's talking.
That scene was edited out though.
That's what I'm saying. That's she did. Yeah, when it got edited out. Yeah.
I thought she kind of thought that didn't work. She was like, missing over playing field because like the edited.
Yeah, because she didn't hear him.
Right, so she didn't notice they edited before. I thought that's when they start going back and realizing that like there was cuts in the show.
I think she went back after the Monica situation. I think she went back to former episodes. I think at that time with the radio, she didn't catch because she said it failed because Wanda didn't hear her.
Okay.
Well, we know that Wanda did hear him. But it was like she didn't see that scene. That's why she said mission failed. Because on the TV that we was watching, it never showed her hearing the radio.
Right.
Because remember, Darcy was like, the music is still playing.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
But
because they never even seen Dolly get her hand cut either.
Yeah, that scene was cut out.
Right.
Yep.
Which makes me wonder, like, why is Wanda editing it? Like, is there someone else watching this? Like, because it's like, why sitcoms? And then why is it getting, cut for content, basically?
I think what's being cut is when people break character.
Every time someone breaks character, that gets cut. But I mean, don't you think it's kind of like when movies get edited for content when you're watching on TV? Like, why is the show edited? Like, who's watching it where they need to see the edited version of this TV show?
Right.
Yeah, that is true. It's got to be something to that, though. There's got to be.
Yeah.
Even like her.
Maybe it's still somebody else behind the scenes too. I mean, I definitely think that Wanda is the main antagonist.
I mean,
but
I would say after this episode, it definitely made it seem like it's her, right? And only her.
Yeah,
because even her little place started to fall apart. Because remember when she looked at Vision and you could tell that it was the dead Vision.
Oh yeah. I was gonna wait, but we can talk about that. I was like, so she just.
I was like,
because I wasn't expecting. I'm like, okay.
I wasn't expecting it either.
That was weird.
So I'm like, she's crazy for real. She just playing with this dude's dead body.
Yeah. I mean, granted, he's all AI, but still.
It don't matter. He's gray and creepy.
And his head still got in.
And his head has a hole in it.
Yeah, fix that. Fix it. Hey, man.
But then, here's my question. If Vision is dead, and they're making it seem like he is, because they showed us the gray Vision, how is he breaking character? He should be the one person that never breaks, right?
Mm-hmm. It's got to be something to do with his AI, because like he's not a real person. I mean, so that's what I want to know. Like,
well, my thing is, right. My thing is, and I brought this up on last week's episode of the podcast. I'm like, whereas like in the subconscious, you have in your subconscious where you're telling yourself like, hey, this is not right. You shouldn't be doing this. And so I'm like, I'm feeling like Wanda is fighting with both. And so like Vision is her part of her consciousness saying like, this is not right. You shouldn't be doing this. And it's like her other side is like, I want to be happy. This is my happiness. I'm going to be happy no matter what, no matter the cost. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like the part of Vision is her good part that's trying to tell her like, hey, this is not right.
So if I would like to know if this is her world, like she's controlling everything. She obviously doesn't know what's going on everywhere at all times. Because on the last episode, when Vision was talking to the neighbors, and dude was cutting through the fence, and dude was about to tell him like, "Hey, yeah, because we're all." And then Agnes stopped him.
Yeah,
and she was like, "Oh yeah, if you tell him, then we're gonna get booted."
Yeah.
But like Vision was starting to figure that out. Like Wanda just has no idea, or was it because she was distracted by Geraldine inside? So like
that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think Vision is a part of her consciousness, because she would have to know that he's talking to outside people, getting ready to figure out that something's not right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, wouldn't something to trigger in her? Like, hey, something going on outside. Let me go check it out. Because they was about to spill the beans for real. If Agnes didn't stop, dude. Because Vision's like, we're all what? We're all what? So
Yeah, but maybe it's because of she was distracted with Geraldine.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And Geraldine had her distracted for her attention on her.
Right, and it threw her control off.
And that's why when Vision came back in, he looked like the dead Vision because her control got thrown off.
Her control was off.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Because in all the other episodes, there was always something there that caused her to hesitate. And every time like she hesitated, there was always a pause. And then there was a glitch with something. And then she snaps through, either gets rid of it or does something else. Like in the first episode with dude choking. Now, Dee brought out an interesting point when we talked about this earlier before the podcast, that she felt that Wanda was choking him with the food because he was asking all those questions.
Right. That's what I'm thinking, which is why they didn't help him.
Yeah. Yeah. But that scene, they didn't see. Like Darcy.
Yeah,
that scene wasn't on the show.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's some super weird stuff going on. Should Monica be seriously injured after getting thrown through a building?
She got thrown through 2 buildings.
Yeah, she got thrown out the house through some gates and fences and all that. And
and outside.
She was moving pretty fast, and then she hit the ground. So it's like,
I feel like she should be like straight up like Rhodey right about now, right? Like wearing the special Iron Man legs.
Like, man, that's strong though. I'm like, all right, Serena. Go ahead then. She was flexing on him though. But what role does her mom play? Because maybe I heard it wrong. Because when she was about to get put on a mission or something, she was talking to the commissioner inside, and he had grounded her. And he was like, your mother is because your mother. She set some stipulations for it in case people came back. So like, what role does her mom play?
So her mom, you remember her mom was the friend in Captain Marvel, and she's supposed to be the little girl from Captain Marvel. So they were saying her mom helped establish SWORD, and so when everyone disappeared, her mom was still working for SWORD. And so then that's when she set the rules. Like, she's like, high up. I guess her mom's probably the director before she died, to say that, if she comes back, do this, this, and this.
Okay.
Yeah. They said that the rule was anyone that came through that was working at agents, that they had to be grounded. Yeah. And that's why she made mention, was like, hey, you know me, why is this for me? And he was like, this was a rule set in place by your mom.
You know what? So I was gonna say, it's probably because you don't know what they're gonna come back as. Like, if you know what I mean, like they could all be aliens or something. You don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to make some rules. You can't be sending these people out in space. You don't know what happens to them.
Yeah.
Did we miss anything? Oh, apparently the hexagons do mean something. I was like, I didn't agree, but I guess it means something.
Shout out to DJ about that, because that was his theory.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I knew it had to mean something though, because I'm like, that's not random. Like, like a hexagon, you ain't gonna randomly choose a hexagon, dude. So
yeah, I didn't think,
because apparently the bubble is a hexagon.
Yeah, which is weird. I like the bubbles a hexagon. Why? I'm sure it's gonna be something dumb and obvious when they finally tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah, my only complaint about this episode, and I guess all the episodes, is they're too short. Like, I was getting into this episode and then it ended.
Yeah, then it ended, yeah.
I was so upset because it ended right at the part that episode 3 ended in.
Yeah.
With Monica being on the ground.
Right. So I'm like,
talking about
it's
Wanda.
Yeah. Like, it's all Wanda.
Are they gonna start getting longer or no?
Yeah, they are gonna start getting longer.
Okay, so maybe the next episode will be longer then.
Yeah, because I mean, there's only 4 to 5 more episodes left. I think it's only 9 episodes.
Yeah, so they have to get longer. Which, I mean, like, I really like this episode, but it was just a rehash of the episodes we've already watched. So you couldn't give me an extra 20 minutes.
Yeah, but not on the inside, though, on the outside. So now we know whose hand that was at the end of the first one, who was watching the episode. Like,
that was a nice, like, oh, okay. Still, especially when I look at it, I'm like, oh, this episode's 36 minutes long, but it's not. Because it takes a minute to come on, and the ending credits is 7 minutes. So this episode was only 25 minutes and not 36 minutes. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, I'm with you, D. I got excited when I saw the minutes. I'm like, 36 minutes?
They're doing that on purpose.
They're doing that on purpose. I will say I did like their use of Jimi Hendrix at the end of this episode. I enjoyed it. I thought it was nice. Still, I don't need 7 minutes of credits. I get everyone got to get their due. Get your paper. I'm all down for that. Make my episode longer if you're going to have 7 minutes of credits.
It was dope, though. I didn't like that too. I'm like, that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
A lot of jamming. So. Okay.
It was nice. I'm not gonna lie. Still.
Yeah. Okay. But what was I gonna say? Well, no. Okay. Maybe I'm off. Because like I said, when her control lapsed and we saw the dead Vision still moving, still talking and everything, does his body have to be puppeted, or since he is AI? Is he like not really dead? Like, I mean, like we know he dead, like he don't got the stone no more. So obviously there's a lot of him that's not there no more. But it's like his body was moving. His mouth was moving. He was just not repaired.
Great.
So it's like, does his body have to be puppeted? Because then it's like everything that Vision sees or goes through, she would know. Because like she has to move for Vision. Like he's not moving independently. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, is he dead or is he not dead?
That's a good point. Because like in the second episode when he went to the library, right? He was by himself. She wasn't controlling that.
Yeah.
So then, because if she was, she would have known that he chewed the gum and all of that to make him act crazy.
Right.
So how is he getting around? There has to be someone else.
Yeah.
There has to be.
Yeah. There's got to be a reason for that.
There's got to be somebody else.
That'll come out in one of these episodes. Because I'm like, if she has to puppet him, she has to know what's going on. In order for him to not be walking in the walls all the time. Because it's like, he obviously wouldn't be able to see. It's like, you know.
I was thinking someone had to help Wanda get Vision. And I'm thinking, like, whoever helped her also maybe suggested this idea to her. And then maybe Wanda just got out of control. But I feel like Wanda had to get help from somebody.
Why would she need help to get Vision? We already see just how powerful she is. I mean, if she can erase people from memories and take over a 5-mile radius, I mean, does she really need help to steal a robot?
I guess not, though.
It's something with Vision that's making it separate from this reality.
Right.
Yeah, it's like either he's alive and they didn't fully put this dude together, so it's like a Frankenstein type deal, or it's definitely someone else as well behind the scenes.
I think there might be someone else behind the scenes. I was just like, I don't know if she needed help to steal the body. I mean, how hard can it be to steal one robot body?
I mean, if she knew exactly where it was, like exactly what happened to him, then yeah, okay. But
she knows exactly where he is. He was in the forest of Wakanda.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, no, but you don't think S.H.I.E.L.D. would have went through there and cleared out everything, though?
S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't know where Wakanda is, right? They're not supposed to, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did by Endgame.
You're right. They definitely said they knew where it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that just became common knowledge at that point, because.
Oh, they did open up their borders too.
They opened up their borders, after Black Panther. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But something is.
Something's up. Something got to be up with that.
Because Dan made a very interesting point. Because it's just like, if she is controlling him, she will see everything he does.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, why is he questioning everything they bring it up?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he even asked, why are we here?
Yeah. Well, he was saying, what was it, the first episode? He was like, something is wrong here.
Yeah.
And then she was just like, let's rewind that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the last episode, I didn't pay attention. He said that we can go anywhere. We don't have to just stay here.
Right. And she was like...
She was like, no.
She said, this is our home. Why would we go anywhere? Something like that?
Yeah,
something like that. Something along those lines. Yeah. And that was edited too. That whole conversation between her and Vision, they did not see.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking someone I'm saying someone else has to be involved because someone has to be watching this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
maybe she's not in control of Vision. Maybe somebody else is, and she's just looking in the lack of better words, rose-colored glasses at Vision, so she doesn't see him as he actually really is in reality.
Yeah, dead and white, dead black and gray, or whatever its colors was.
It was.
Yeah, it's like maybe somebody else's control of Vision, and maybe that's what the agreement was agreed upon. Was just like, hey, you make a world, I can bring you back Vision.
Yeah, because even they said once you remove the stone, there's still a lot of Vision left. So maybe this is the Vision that's left after that stone was removed.
I know.
That's true.
We can't patch up his head though. Just saying.
I mean, Tony and Bruce Banner can, but I don't know if Wanda can.
No, but if she stole his body from S.H.I.E.L.D., she doesn't have the smarts to make him back to the way he was.
Right.
So that's a good point. I didn't think of that either. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that is him, but that's how he's seen because that's all that's left.
Yeah.
And so she only looking at him at the way that he was, and not at the way that he's currently is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But still, we couldn't put like no Bondo or something in that. I'm just saying.
No, bad that would look if you don't know what
She stole my boy's body and ran with it.
I'm just saying he has. I mean,
didn't fix it at all. Didn't add no tape.
He has a crushed skull. Like, come on.
Put a hat on him, like cover it up.
Right, yeah. Put an NY hat on them. They're already in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put that NY on there.
Don't do rag on them. Who cares? Something just to cover it up.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's gonna come out.
Episode 5 is gonna be really good.
Yeah,
really good.
Some of this information got to come out. So
yeah. So yeah, this episode answered a lot of questions. It created some new questions. The show is good. Are we ranking every episode?
Were we ranking every episode?
I don't remember.
We are.
Like rank.
I pay for that.
Right. I don't know. I forgot how Darren was doing it, but whatever.
I think he said we was just gonna rate it at the end.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I mean, it was a good episode. I would say this one and the first one is probably the best episodes of the series so far.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Episode 3 is a hard, like, too high to, lower to.
Good, because I mean, it kind of got into like Vision is starting to like really realize some things in episode 3. So
I feel like episode 3 tells you a lot, although I like 1 and 2 better than it. I thought it was more enjoyable.
I can go with that. I go with that.
Maybe so, yeah. I'll say so. But at least now we know that at least the people in the town are kind of aware of what's going on. At least Herb and Agnes is.
Yeah.
And we learned that they are real people.
Yeah, they're real people with real names.
They've been cast as I guess or whatever Wanda decided. So
I was convinced that Herb was somebody, but I guess he just a regular guy that got caught up in the bubble.
Hey, they didn't give Agnes a real.
No, they didn't. So either we just didn't see it or they don't know who she is. Which means Agnes
means she would be Agnes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking she could be that. She could be old boy's witness protection person. But he would have said it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would have.
I would think so. I mean, it's not like they look a whole lot different. So somebody
he would have.
Yeah, they pulled Geraldine out. They was like, oh, yep, there she goes sitting on the bench looking clueless. Like they recognize her when they go in, but
Yeah. So I didn't notice that she was the only one that they didn't have a real name for.
So I was okay. Because I was like, I don't know if I missed that or not.
Yeah, no, she didn't have one. And I feel like they do things for a reason. You know what I mean? It could be like, oh, they just because they named everyone else. It could be like, oh, they just show it,
or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, she's either like a Daredevil or a Spider-Man villain. Most of them are.
I don't know. I don't know who these people are.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to find out.
Yeah. No, I'm.
If that's the case, then that will also understand why she's fully aware of everything's going on, but she's playing alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she does seem like to be the only one that is constantly aware of what's happening.
Yeah. So we'll see. I wonder if Geraldine was wearing that necklace like the whole time though, because that necklace was a sword logo. I'm like, can we see that in other episodes? And we just didn't pay attention or what?
I guess we just wasn't paying attention. And then here's the other thing: when she threw her out of the bubble, she was still wearing the 1970 clothes.
Yeah. But everything you pulled out, like remember when they pulled out the other end of that rope? When they pulled it out, they saw that it was a jump rope too. So once it changes, it don't change back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it doesn't change back. Okay. Yeah. But then, okay. It's just.
I mean, I'm
sure
it's
a lot of questions. A lot of questions.
I'm just so mad. Like, I gotta wait every week for this. It's annoying.
Yep, gotta wait till Friday. Gotta get through the work week.
They gotta. I'll tell you what. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they're gonna have to bring it, man, because these first few episodes of WandaVision, and the whole time I was questioning, like, is this gonna be good? Like the concept.
Voice. Like, we recorded that.
Right. But it's like we were questioning how good this show actually was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, really, that concept? Like, what would be the objective of it? But it's good.
Right.
It's good.
Right. I'm sure there's a reason why she's doing sitcoms, though. So I'm guessing that's going to come out, too, because I was wondering why sitcoms, too. Is it just because it's such a detachment from the reality or what? But
yeah. I don't know. We're probably not going to have these answers until, like, episode 9.
Probably not. Mm-hmm. That's how they're going to keep us hooked. Marvel's good at that. Keep them hooked, keep them watching. So, okay, that's cool.
Well, that was all I had. If you guys didn't have anything else? No? All right.
That's all.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to the 3D Rivals podcast. You can hit us up. Darren knows all. I don't know all of our things. But anyways, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and email. It's got 3D Rivals in it. I don't know the whole thing. Google it and you will find it. I assume. Not sure.
Throw an ad in front of it. I'm sure there's something to come up.
Yeah, you'll find it. Hopefully
you can find us on Google. If you Google us, you can find us.
All right. See, there you go. So thank you for listening. I hope you join us next week for another riveting episode of 3D Rivals Podcast. Until next time, peace out.